make this simple. Just make sure my levels are good. Change that to just chatting. Alright. Started a bit late, but it's okay. 12:28, still between noon and 2. Meditation versus mediocrity. What does that look like for you? Are you being mediocre with yourself? Or are you meditating through your day-to-day, through your fluctuation of what is your highest being? Again, meditation versus mediocrity. What does that look like for you? It's not going to look the same for you as it does for someone else. So acknowledge that. That's what we're going to do in this first minute. Oh man, Mr. Cheesy rated me 8 hours ago. I was asleep. But meditation versus mediocrity. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Everyone should understand what mediocrity is. Being mediocre, being that last man, suppressing yourself. But what does the meditation for your highest self exist as? The highest self that you are. What are those things that you need to filter out so you can be at your highest peak? Your lowest peak is already in existence because we start from the lows and find our highs. But to be at the highest peak that looks different, that sounds different, that exists different amongst everyone. So, first off, we'll start off with some box breathing. No tempo needed. Just at your own pace. Remember to take a deep breath in. And a hold. Slowly release. And then hold. Deep breath in. Hold. Slowly release. And then hold. Deep breath in. Hold. Slowly release. And then hold. Understanding how your body is using oxygen is the first part to you, and then understanding how you're applying yourself to the world and through the world. Your oxygen is not only one of the most deadliest poisons for your body, but it's also one of the most highest fuels used in the ATP process and also in the process of carbon dioxide. Knowing how to use the diaphragm, knowing how to use the breath, knowing how to apply the breath. As you apply your breath, it applies it to your spirit. Knowing what is a distraction for you and what isn't. For me to get over here, I had to stop what I was doing and immediately jump into this because this is a priority for me. It may not have been a priority for my audience prior, but it's a priority for me. My priorities don't have to be your priorities. Your priorities don't have to be my priorities. But for the respect of it being a priority, that's respecting the nature of things. For a few moments, just feel the flow of breath going into your body. We're going to attune a certain type of way and a certain way of the mind. When I say attune, the goal is to functionally understand where your guiding yourself. So the first step is I want you to imagine, not even imagine, just think about it. Because your thoughts become your reality. Think about all the negativeness that you experience day by day. And the reason why I want you to think about all the negativeness is so you can acknowledge it. We have to acknowledge these negative feelings, these negative thoughts, these negative influences, so forth. We can change them. Bring them to the surface, to the forefront. I know you don't want them there, but this is the point of transmutation, where they're not going to be there because you're going to actively exhale what you want to be there. Everything has its opposition to it, and it's all about how are you responding to those oppositions. So as you take a deep breath in, absorb all that negative energy, karma, chi that is exuded towards you and even from you. Take a deep breath in. I want you to hold, allow that breath to process and transmute. And as it's processing and transmuting, I want you to release your positive wants, needs, and goals out to the world. And then hold for a moment, letting that saturate around you. And take a deep breath in, absorbing more of that negative energy that people give to you. As they give you this negative energy, this negative karma, these negative influence, you're going to then hold, let it process and begin to transmute. Use that energy as a conversion. Convert it into the positive energy that you want to return to the world. How that positive energy looks is for you. And slowly release. Take a deep breath in. We're focused on the external negative thoughts right now. Hold. Transmute those thoughts, that energy into positive, and release it as positive energy back out around you. Hold. Let it saturate around you so that it can attract more negative energy, because the binary movement of things, positive attracts negative, negative attracts positive. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Focus on bringing the negative energy in towards you. Negative inner thoughts now. Negative inner thoughts. As you hold your breath and let it transmute, remind yourself that you love yourself. Remind yourself that you care about the things that you do, that you enjoy. Maybe remind yourself of something that you enjoy and release that back into the world. Giving yourself gratitude, giving yourself a thank you, appreciation for even sitting right now. Find your comfortable position, be it sitting, standing, lying down. Take that deep breath in. As you absorb that negative energy and hold, allow it to transmute into your body. And slowly release that positive influence in which you are, that difference, that positive change back into the world. Everybody likes getting money back from when they're spending money. Imagine the positive change being like, you're taking a deep breath, you're expending energy to hold this negative energy, but what you're putting out brings a better yield for you and your reality, because it's the things that you want in your reality, it's the thoughts that you want. It's not always easy to convert the negative into the positive, but if you give yourself time to process, the process becomes easier each time you do so. Take a moment, take a deep breath in. closer to you. Those negative thoughts, acknowledge if they're true or false. True being something that you drastically can change, false being something that is projected onto you or that you are projecting onto yourself. Transmute it into the positive side. Give yourself gratitude and thanks as you release. And then hold. Allow it to saturate around you. As it saturates, remember it brings more negative energy in. So you want to just absorb that negative energy. Consciously make the choice to transmute it within your hold, within yourself. And slowly release. Deep breath in, bringing negative energy in. Don't overtly hold onto the energy, so don't swallow it down into the belly. Allow it to convert. And as you release, using the belly, push the air out. Bring that navel closest to the spine. Hold, let it saturate. Take a moment to acknowledge how your breath is feeling as you take a deep breath in. How is it filling your lungs? For a moment, visualize a flower. Visualize it about to bloom. So as you take a deep breath, see it open. As your breath goes in, allow the flower to open. And then when you hold, allow it to be open, bloomed in its highest state. Once you're ready, slowly release. Allow for the flower to wilt and find its form of death. The death of the flower doesn't mean the end of it, as long as the roots are still grounded. Are you still grounded in your notion, your focus on putting out the positive energy, the positive influence, the positive thoughts, the positive wants that you are seeking? And note that sometimes your positive wants are considered to be negative or in opposition to others. That's not for your job to attune to. Your job is to release and exude to the world those energies, those familiarities that you are seeking. Take a deep breath in. Hold for a moment. Allow that breath to converge and convert. And slowly release. want you to ignore the negative thought. I want you to fully embrace it and acknowledge it, and then flip it upside down. Because the negative is a positive once you acknowledge the good side of it. You won't get a great still frame image without acknowledging the negatives that are in there so that those colors can pop, the contrast. Take a deep breath in, bringing that negative energy into the system. You're going to hold, allowing yourself to convert and converge. Bring your alignment to the highest point as you convert that energy, and then release. Push your positivity back into the world. Push your positive ions back out to the world around you. Once you're ready, take your right hand, place it onto your belly. Take your left hand, place it onto your heart. The right hand is always sending, the left hand is receiving. Receive that love energy from the left hand. Allow it to convert through the shoulders or travel through the shoulders into the right side, into the belly. As you take a deep breath in, feel the belly press into the hand. As you release, feel the belly retract away from the hand, navel coming towards the spine. As you take a deep breath in, feel the chest rise, sending the energy into the left hand, which is receiving from your heart. As the energy is received into the left side, feel it travel across or down into the left arm, up the elbow, into the shoulder, to the right side, and back into the belly. This energy which starts at the base of the spine and working its way up into the crown is circulating through these two focal points at the belly and the heart. Right hand on belly, left hand on heart. As you correct things within yourself, the world around you shall correct equally and evenly in proportions to how you seek to move. So if it doesn't move within your alignment, that's fine. The external validation doesn't beat out your internal validation or representation of yourself. Don't be discouraged if your energy seems to lower for a moment. Be encouraged because you created space for yourself. You created space and time. How you decide to fill this space goes with the same way in how you decide to use and apply your time. As you create space and time for yourself, acknowledge what you would like to do within this. And remember to remove the distractions or those things that keep that space from being filled with what you want, what you seek. Even if the space is just filled with the thoughts of I'm seeking, change that, convert it to I have found. You speak into existence. Everything that was sought for was already found. It was already attained. You have it in your hands. You wanted $1 million. You were given a plan to make $1 million. How are you using that tool invested with that plan? Take a deep breath in. yourself saturating the energy that you placed around you. Turning that energy up into your skin. Allow it to border and perimeter your body. You are physically made of energy, so don't allow anything else to convert your energy into something that doesn't serve you. Your energy should always serve you first, and then any external secondary purpose afterwards. Give yourself a moment to just saturate in your presence, your being, your energy. You found your highest self. You found that higher state. Continue to move towards it as you move as it. If that state changes to a higher state than that, acknowledge it and continue to trot towards it. Each step brings you to a higher state, to a higher point of being. Each step past is something that no longer serves you or that you may discard. Discard those positive things back into the world that didn't serve you but may serve someone else. You don't have to take the burden of someone else's negativity, but acknowledge the parts of those negatives that did burden you and release that back into the world as positives. If only for yourself, for the community around you, the ecosystem around you, nature. I want you to load your gun, God, universe, nature, with your intention, your focus. As you take a deep breath in, filling your space with just that negative energy, you're converting it into a hold. So hold for a moment, allow it to convert. And release all those tools necessary so you can be your highest self. Release in the form of non-discarding, but acknowledging you have each of those tools. To remain mediocre is always a choice. To become great is a choice. To be your greatest self. Greatness comes with both good and bad. You must acknowledge the bad parts of being great to highestly enjoy and receive the benefit from the better parts of being great. Expose yourself to those things that are going to take you to your highest self. Allow yourself to be a search engine for the information in which you seek. Remember to turn your filter on for that in which doesn't bring you to your highest peak. And note, this highest peak will be lower than the next plateau you get onto. And that's fine. Perfectly fine for this peak to be lower than the next plateau, because to be on that plateau you have learned everything for this peak, and to seek the next peak out is to understand which way do I must climb, or must I climb. Sometimes getting to the next peak requires you to climb down, and understanding the process of regression. So for those who tune in to the Meditation versus Mediocrity, thank you very much. Thank yourself more than you thank me. Thank yourself for taking the time to acknowledge yourself to reach that higher state of being, that higher state of consciousness. As you take the moments and walk through the rest of your day, acknowledge other people's negativity, convert it, and release love and light back into them. But it has to be your love and light. So if that means telling them to F off or get away, or you even walking away and being in your highest energy, allow it. But don't allow them to tarnish your energy. Don't allow them to stain you with their disdain. Be that highest self in which you acknowledge and represent. And for yourself to see the lowest stuff in there. And as you understanding your depths. Take a deep breath in. And slowly release, letting go of all which no longer serves you. Every cell in your body, every atom which is within that serves you to allow you to be the best or to do your best at whatever you seek. Deep breath in. Hold. Allow it to convert. And slowly release. Post your release, hold, and let it saturate. And allow yourself to return back to your normal breathing. Don't be afraid of your highest self. Do not be afraid of your last man, your lowest self. But don't allow yourself to be subdued or suppressed to appease and appeal to other people's nature. If that nature doesn't nurture you, it's fine to move on. But if you're nurtured in that nature, acknowledge those parts of even yourself that can release more positivity or convert to more positivity. But again, that positivity will not always look positive to everyone or everything. Again, thank y'all. Thank yourself. We'll be back next Monday with some more meditation versus mediocrity. If you choose to be in your mediocre, choose. But know you can always be at your highest self, even on that plateau. Today's peak is tomorrow's plateau. Tomorrow's peak precedes today's plateau.